Buon pomeriggio, benvenuto. Sono DigiDriver. Unisitiami mentre voliamo nei cieli italiani, da Firenze a Roma e Napoli. Dio ti benedica. Oggi è sabato 10 dicembre. I'm still learning Italian, but good day, good afternoon, or good evening, or maybe even good morning, everybody. Again, I am DigiDriver, and today I am just having a chill flight. I'm not on VATSIM. I don't think I have anything other than live traffic turned on, and it will show whatever it shows, I guess. I don't know the way the new free tier for live traffic and if anything else is tied to it works. I think there's something called OpenNDB or OpenDB, but it usually cuts out after a little while. You get a certain amount of time and then nothing else pops up. So we'll see what we can do. Like I said, today's going to be a pretty chill stream. I'm just resting at home today. I spent some time last week away with family. Uh, Pretty much the reason why I wasn't streaming last Sunday. And I'm looking forward to getting some flights in X-Plane. This is essentially vanilla X-Plane 12 right now, barring the scenery libraries that I've installed so far, the payware aircraft that I've ported over from X-Plane 11 that either had updates or new versions available. Yeah, I'm flying to stock airports so far. I do want to do scenery development for X-Plane 12, but that's going to be a while yet, so I'm not worried about that at all. But at any rate, we are at Lima, India, Romeo, Quebec. I believe this is what is the name of this place again, actually? It is Francesco Baglivo, I think. And my apologies for butchering anything, because I am not doing well in that department, but I am learning. I believe the short version is simply Florence Airport. Correct me if I am wrong. But here we are. We're flying a 737-800. That's just the default 737 that came with X-Plane 12, and it came with a Ryanair livery. I think this is probably going to be the most area appropriate livery that I have, because I don't have an Alitalia livery, and I don't have an EasyJet livery for this plane. I don't think EasyJet has 737s, so I'm good. So this is the default 737, and it's got a lot that you can do. Not everything is modeled, of course. I still haven't installed the Zebo 737, but I'm having a good time flying this plane and getting the hang of being in the X-Plane 12 environment ecosystem, if you will. Things like weather, which I have learned the hard way about, as well as just the default graphics in general are better than the last sim, the last version, the last major version. So I am sitting at the ramp, but I don't have a flight plan. Let's go ahead and change that right now. I'm going to go on simbrief.com, and maybe in the spirit of how Ryanair does all their planning and getting ready for the flight once they actually climb into the plane, if I got that right, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing right now. So good afternoon, folks. Good to see you. Whether you're watching live or on the replay, I am in X-Plane 12 today, and we're just going to do a couple of flights around Italy. We'll catch up a bit about my past week and how I have been. Trying to find the airline code for Ryanair. I believe it is RYR. Yes, it is RYR. So we're going to be Romeo Yankee Romeo 197, departing LIRQ, landing LIRF. The alternate is LIPY. Don't know the airport, but I don't think the weather is going to be a problem, which is going to keep us from landing at Rome. Let's see what the registration is for this bird. It is Echo India dash Echo November India. Echo November India. And does it have a FIN number? Doesn't have a FIN number, but what's up front here? It is November India. So let's put that in. How many passengers can this plane take? I'm going to say we're going to take 146 passengers with us to Rome today from Firenze, from Florence. And we'll take an extra 2,000 pounds of fuel as additional contingency on top of anything that will be given for the flight plan. Flight time for this flight, this first flight, hopefully of two, will be 1 hour and 5 minutes. And we're going to be taking the Kugi 5 Mike departure to the right 3 Charlie arrival into Rome. I'll save the flight and I will generate the flight now, and we can start put, putting, stream speak is a thing. We're going to start inserting waypoints and such into the flight plan. So let me go ahead and save this first. I'll save it directly to my plugins directory for X-Plane 12, and then we'll get the flight started. Resources, plugins, AviTab charts, that's where they go. Bam. Saved. And let's go ahead and minimize some windows. Now, since I have AviTab installed in the plane, I'm not going to worry about things like keeping another browser window open for getting the, following the flight plans and such. But here we go. Battery power on, standby power set, emergency lights have already been armed. Let's go ahead and get some ground power and set the power to ground power and get the battery on the bus. I will also get ground services going while we are getting our plane set. And let's go up here. These don't actually work, and these are already set to nav. This is the default plane, but we can do a quick stall warning test. And I can set my dome light to bright. And I think that's all I can do here. I believe these are overspeed. Flight recorders should be armed. And yeah, I think that's it. Let me just go through my usual flows. We've got the battery on the bus. We'll get the cabin utilities and passenger seat power on. We will also get the logo light on. This is a DigiDriver flight after all. And we'll get the position light to steady. So I think that's probably the closest thing to a nav light. I could be wrong. Someone please correct me if I am. And we'll get the window heat on just in case there's a little bit of surprise, what's the phrase? Well, surprise coldness, really. We'll get a couple of hydraulic pumps going. I think this should give me some limited power. And we'll get the recirc fans on. Packs to auto. Isolation valve to open for now. And we will get the engine bleeds open because that's just what I'm accustomed to seeing. Maybe it's bad to keep them open before you even get the APU started, but I don't know that much about the 737. I might want to learn. But for our flight today, let's open up AviTab so we can all see it at the same time. We're flying Firenze to Roma, and we are Ryanair 197. Cost the next for today's flight is 58. We're going to be cruising at flight level 270. It's going to be a kind of quick flight. And that's it. Before I do anything else, let me check the landing altitude in Rome so that I can actually get this plane set. And what do we have? What do we have? We have, I'm looking for the airport. Yeah, the altitude. Landing elevation looks like 14 feet. So that's it. I hear some noises outside. Let's see. Oh, Looks like we have Austin ready to drop off some food to us. I'm using the sim, there's a sim mode where you can actually use or request ground services. So you get like luggage loaded, you get catering done. It's cool. I like it myself. It, adds to the atmosphere, if you will. But let me get back to the plugin and see what I'm missing. We've got the landing altitude set closest to 14 feet I can get without going to zero. And let me close this and load up LIRQ so we have our charts for the trip. We'll take a look at the airport chart and airport info. We are here. We are apron 100, and I want to take a look at 109A. Parking stands. I think I picked 104, and that's it. So this entire area is one huge hotspot. If it was VATSIM traffic, you definitely want to be careful. And I will be taxiing to the runway either on Foxtrot to depart or Mike for midsection departure. If I'm departing to the south, I guess I back taxi down the main runway. And there's no question in my mind this is going to be a full toga takeoff because the runway is only about 5,100 feet long. So there is the airport diagram, and where's my chart? Here we go. So 05. What does that tell us? That tells us we are great for departure today. That's fine. I like that. We'll take the Kujix 5 Mike departure. Kujix 5 Mike departure. Let's find it. Departure. Do we have it? Yep, 5 Mike. Okay, we're flying down to Roma, so it's probably going to be Kujix at flight level 110 or above. Transition out of here. What's a transition? Does it say? I would imagine it's going to be 7,000 feet where we transition. Nope. Transition is 6,000. So we go to flight levels right after that, which is actually pretty interesting. I think it's going to be vectors to Kujix and then we just fly out. I think that's how it works. So it's a somewhat simplified arrival. I'm sorry, departure out of Florence. Now what do I need? I need my arrival info. Actually, before I even do that, yeah, just take a quick glance. Right B3 Charlie. Right B3 Charlie. Or Reteb 3 Charlie. Wait, did I say 3 Charlie or 3 Bravo? 3 Charlie. Okay, so that might be the wrong chart. Yeah, we need a different chart. 3 Charlie. Our nav arrival, and where are we arriving from? We're arriving from Reteb. Let's see. Coming in straight from Reteb, we need to be at 250 knots immediately, which is interesting, actually. Aeroflyer, hello, my friend. I'm sorry if I kept you waiting for the greeting, but I hope you're having a very good afternoon. We are in Italy today. I felt like doing an Italian flight in, remembering my week's trip that I took with the family recently. Now, what runway am I landing at when I get to Rome? I forget. It's 3-4 left. I see. So I think we're going to be kind of hooking in to 3-4 this way and Does 3-4 left have an ILS approach? Does it even matter? We might do a visual today. Yes, I have not done Italy nearly enough justice, my friend. I really want to come in. Yeah. Hold on. All right, folks, give me just a moment. Sorry for the delay, my friends. Mrs. Digi had a question to ask me, so I wanted to take care of it really quick. And I am back. I forget if I had another plug for my other device, so I might switch to just looking at chat messages on my main computer screen because I want to save battery on something else that I'm using. So it might take me a little bit longer to respond to messages, but I promise I will do the best I can to make this an enjoyable stream for everybody. But like I was saying before, I definitely I definitely don't do Italy enough justice, and I think it's time I did that. So we are going to be coming in on the ILS for 3-4 left. It's going to be 108.9er at 339er. Let me see if I can actually tune that now. 08.9er. And up front in the MCP, I will double check my ILS because I put it away before checking. It's 339er. I'm going to put this on the first officer side, and what I'm probably going to do when we depart Florence, I'm going to keep the magnetic heading in the course and in the heading bug so that if we run into problems getting out, we can come back in just as quickly. Over here, there we go. Get the main panel. You know what I forgot to do? Get my lighting turned on. Hello. Oh, that's a zoom. I missed. Yeah, I kind of have to watch myself with these. That's funny. Okay, down we go. Get the panel lighting up, and we are going to squawk 2257, of course. 2257, we'll do altitude reporting on, just so we can pretend we're on VATSIM. Again, I'm not flying on VATSIM today. This is just a chill flight. And all right, now that I've got my, I mean, it's already aligned for me, but now that I've got some of my stuff set, I can go downstairs and start taking a look at the flight plan. Nav data is out of date. Oh, I forgot to update my AirAC information. Good thing that I am not worried about flying on network today. I will try to do that after I get done before I do anything else this evening. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm offline. I'm offline. This is good. Let's get the flight plan set first. So, yeah, it happens to me every once in a while, but in particular, the last few times I flew, I just forgot and I forgot to remember. That's how you remember to forget. You forget to remember. So, let me go to one screen for now, folks. If I start to get really behind and chatting, I'll open up another screen to keep aware of it. But I'll keep you informed as I go here. We are flying out of Florence to Rome. We're going to be Ryanair 197, and that's about it. Let's do the departure. I forgot already. It's okay. So we're taking the Oh, there we go. The Kujix 5 mic departure. Excuse me. Let me get back in this system. Runway 5. And we'll select that. Now, I need to see what other waypoints I'm going to be putting in because I need them. So, we will take a look at the chart. And here we are. So, for the flight plan, we go to here, and this is where we start putting in information. So I think we're ready to go to KUGIX, and then from there, we're going to input what I believe should be a airway, which goes to MTEL, and then another airway, which goes to the beginning of our arrival into Rome. And for the arrival, we're going to take the RETEB 3 Charlie, and we're going to land 3-4 left. We'll do vectors. I'm guessing vectors will be the easiest or quickest. And that's it. We've got our flight plan set, and I'm going to leave a discontinuity as a personal reminder to double check my flight plan on the way in. I used to always treat these things as, oh, it's a discontinuity, get rid of it. I think you actually want to keep discontinuities when you're doing flights of a certain kind. And I think it's beneficial to me because it gives me a chance to double check and make sure that I've done everything right, because otherwise I'm just going to keep going in a certain direction. And number two, I think maybe every once in a while, if you get a rerouting from ATC, it gives you a chance to kind of take that and then plug it in. We do have a discontinuity prior to our, I guess, approach for landing. And if we do a missed approach, we go to Delta 289 Echo, and then to Delta 289 Hotel, and then Delta 289 Sierra, and hold. Hopefully we won't have to hold. But there we go. No real performance planning to speak of. I tend to use just made up numbers to keep things moving quickly. And one other thing I forgot to do, I forgot to grab the charts for Rome to see what's up. So let's take a look at Rome. If we land 3-4 left, then we will be going past the terminal. If we can try to exit at the Alpha Foxtrot high speed, or at least Alpha Echo, then it'll be much easier for me to go back to the terminal. If we encounter reduced braking action because of rain or because of inclement weather, we'll probably have to pull off at Alpha Charlie and then taxi back across runway 07 to the terminal. Where do we want to park? That's the question. Parking stands, we have, I think, a bunch to choose from. I'm going to try to park in Terminal 3, maybe 608 or 607, and then we'll see what happens then. And I think that's it. Let's go ahead and finish the setup here and finish prepping ourselves. I think they also got our luggage loaded as well, so let's do a few things. I am going to say we've got maybe 3/4 of the way with people, but let's make this official. I'm going to take a look at my numbers and see what we actually have for this flight. We have 146 passengers and 8,000 pounds of cargo for a total payload of 33,600 pounds. So, fuel is going to be 25.7 at the max. Which means we have a little bit less than 2.5 hours of flight time. But again, the flight time for today is going to be an hour and 5 minutes, so that should be more than enough buffer. And that's good. King Cobra, good afternoon, my friend. Merry Christmas to you. I hope you're doing very well. God bless you and your family. We're flying in Italy today. We're going to try to do 2 flights today as long as I don't have issues with the flights or the inclement weather. And we'll probably be done sometime around 4, 4:30, 4:45. And we'll catch up in the skies about how I've been since I was out last week. Now, out of curiosity, you want arrival data? Here you go. This is arrival data for Rome. We're going to be landing on runway 34 left. It is going to be an ILS approach, and the core setting is going to be 339. And yes, like the FMC says, I did forget to update my AIRAC. So it's all right, it happens. Let me put on these lights and put on the panel lights for the first officer side as well. And I think at this point I can start doing some other things, like turning on my flight directors. I'm going to probably estimate V2 for today is going to be somewhere in the 150s. So I'll leave it at 150 for now. We're going to rotate as soon as we can since we're going full toga, and I will let the engines spool up before we take off. I don't remember seeing any restrictions, but we're going to set the initial climb altitude to 6,000 feet, which is our transition level, coincidentally. And the weather, as of the time of printing at Florence, is basically QNH 09905. We have temperature 13, dew point 12. So it is not warm, but it is not super duper cold. So let me go ahead and switch over here. I'm going to switch to hectopascals and do 09905. All right, there we go. Now, minimums for Rome. I do not know how to switch the default plane from radio altimeter to barometric minimums. So we're going to set the radio mins for 200 feet. And I will double check the arrival chart to see whether or not there is a decision height above that. Decision height for localizer GS is 392 feet radio altimeter. So we'll do that. And there we go. That's set. And I think I'm okay otherwise. Flight directors are on, and we can arm. Can we arm the VNAV? I don't know actually. Did I set this up correctly? If I didn't, that's fine. I know how to fly the Boeing, quasi manually by doing speed control and vertical speed, so I'm not worried about it. If it's possible. Oh, VNAV's unavailable. There we go. Thank you, computer. That's okay then. We will set the vertical speed for probably about 3,000 feet per minute on takeoff. We'll come out to 6,000 pretty quick and then make another decision as to what we do then. But the LNAV is armed. So, otherwise, what else do we need to do? RTO I'll only set when we're ready to actually take off. We've got our flight plan set. We can go upstairs. So, what I usually like to do with the 737 is to get as much ready as I possibly can. That means that I'm going to turn the yaw damper on now. And I'm also going to turn on one of the fuel pumps. And we're going to get the APU rolling, which means I'm going to set my anti-collision light to on. And we're going to get the APU started. 1, 2, 3, now. Fuel pumps are rolling. We've got the anti-collision light on. I can probably get the APU bleed on as well. And let's just go ahead and sweep through. Yaw damper is on. We've got one set of fuel pumps going for the APU. Batteries on the bus, we will eventually have the APU available. Cab util and IFEs are available and online. We've got seatbelt signs are now on, and window heats are on, probe heats are off for now. We've got a little bit of hydraulics going. I can probably turn the rest of them on right now. And recirc fans are on, packs are auto, they'll turn off, or I will turn them off eventually. Isolation valve is open, we'll close that shortly. And what else can I do? I can turn on my APUs. Excuse me, my APU gens. APU gens are now on. I'm on APU gen power, and I will disconnect the ground power. Double check to make sure my APU gens are running. That's it. So I will go upstairs, turn my dome light to off, and that should be everything I need to do. Let's double check our surroundings. So the plan is probably going to be to do a straight pushback or a tail facing north. So like a left turn for the tail. When I do that, I'll probably just be able to taxi straight out to the runway and just take off. So let's go ahead and call up for a push. Service completed. And now we can request pushback to the left.
Firenze Pertola Tower, November 816, November. Request pushback to the left.
November 816, November. Stand by. Pushback tractor is on the way.
Alright, so the pushback tractor takes a little bit of time to get here, gives me a chance to double check my flight plan. Fortunately, the exchange of APU to ground power did not get rid of anything that I had. And what am I waiting for? Since this is a small enough ramp, I'm going to go ahead and switch myself over to TARA right now. And I'll pretend I'm on Unicom and say something like Thorns ground, Ryanair 197 is Boeing type 737-800, pushing back from stand 104, departing runway 05. And that's it. Pushback truck should be here momentarily. Am I missing anything down here? Probably some trim. Can I do trim here? Yes, I can. I would say about 6.5 will do. It should. If I have to, I'll pull back manually and we should be fine. Here comes the pushback tug. And I think we have everything set that we need. Oh, excuse me. My flight director turned off for some reason.
Pushback. Release parking brake.
Okay, let's go ahead and release that parking brake now. And I can get started with the work ahead. So, packs can get turned off. APU bleed is on. Let's get the fuel pumps all turned on and engine number 1 started. Wait till about 20 to 23%. We're good. Engine number 2 can come online. Give it the juice. And before I forget, let's hit the ET button. Okay, engine 1. Past 10%, waiting for about 20% minimum. And engine 2 can start up. I'm sorry, engine 1 can start up as well. And let's go ahead and drop those flaps into place. I think I'm going to give it flaps 5 today. 2 and 5. Although for a runway this short, flaps 10 is probably more appropriate. Okay. I don't have the ability to do a fuel flow reset, but I am going to go ahead and set the probe heats on at this point. Engine gens. Packs to auto.
Disconnect. Pushback completed.
And we'll get the parking brakes set while they do the pushback, or complete the pushback rather. Thank you very much. What am I missing? Let's go upstairs. Yaw dampers on. All the fuel pumps are pumping. I'll set my taxi lights on, and we will put the power on Gen 1. And we are running on gens. Taxi lights are on. We'll get the turn off lights just for a little extra visibility. Seatbelt signs are on. Since we're so close to the runway, I'll get the engines to continuous. Probe heats are on, window heats are on, no anti-ice required, all the hydraulics are working, or should be. Recirc fans are on, packs are back on, isolation valve I can set to auto. I will now turn my APU bleed off and turn the APU off since I'm running on the the engine generators. We will get the wing lights to on and the position light to steady. Again, only reason I'm doing this is because I'm so close to the runway. I don't want to forget. And I think that takes care of everything up top. Down here, I can take one last look below. I've got the transponders to the TARA, and I will switch my nav radios. Thank you. I'll switch my nav radios once we actually get up in the air. What else do we need to do? Not much. It's gonna be a manual takeoff, and then we're gonna see where we can go. I'm probably gonna go either trust this or go direct to the exit waypoint, which is on the left here. And I think that's all I need to do. So I'll do a quick flight controls check and we can fly out of here. Full left on the stick, or the yoke, excuse me. Full right. Full forward. Full back. Full left rudder deflection. Full right rudder deflection. And if you guys remember, I had difficulty with my rudder a little while ago. I've had the Thrustmaster T16000M HOTAS set up for a while, but the rudder started getting a little chatty, so I added a built-in, for lack of a better phrase, a built-in dead zone, so that it wouldn't go like all chattery when I was like taxiing or even flying a chopper, for example. We are set. Let's go ahead and taxi. I'll take a quick look around. I'm sorry if it gets loud. Literally, we are like right there. So, if I take a look at my charts, we are going to taxi straight to Foxtrot and then onto the runway. So, literally, we're right there. Parking brake release, and a little bit of power should do it. And again, good afternoon, everybody tuning in or watching on the replay. I am DigiDriver, and today we find ourselves in Italy. I'm flying from Lima, India, Romeo, Quebec to Lima, India, Romeo, Foxtrot. We're flying from Firenze, or I guess the greater Florence area, to Rome. And then from Rome, we're going to take another quick flight to Naples and call it a stream this afternoon. Okay, we'll hold short here, get the cabin prepped for departure, and then we will take off. Okay, parking brake set for now, and landing lights on, taxi light off, engines already at continuous. One last double check here. I think we're set to go. We have the isolation valve set to auto, packs are back on. And I'm checking my fuel, my flows. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and get started with our flight, and hopefully we'll have a nice couple daylight flights based on local time in the US before we actually land at Naples and call it a stream. So, am I missing anything? Well, auto brake to RTO for one. And we have our flap set to 10. We have trim set to a trim-ish setting. and that should do it. I'm going to go ahead and hit the chrono, and we're going to go. All right, folks. We'll be taking off in just a few moments. Flight attendants, please take your seats for departure. And like I said, I'm going to be using as much of the runway as I humanly can. I'm not going to go to those lights though. I want to keep them there. Don't want to break them. And I am going to go ahead and set on the run-up section and literally use as much runway as I can. Okay, so right about here, let's get it to about 50%. Nice and stable. Engines are spooled. Parking brake released. We have power, folks. Airspeed alive. 80 knots. Checked. And there we go. Might have used up a bit more runway than I wanted to, but that's okay. Positive rate, gear up. And we're making a left turn. Quickly. We're climbing at about 3,100, 3,200 feet per minute. The flight directors want me to go a little bit less steep for the climb, but I see those hills and I do not think so. Flaps 5, flaps 2, flaps 1, flaps up. That's a lot better. We've got over 1,500 feet. I can go on autopilot. We will do vertical speed and we'll keep it at 3,000 feet per minute for now. We will also go to 250 knots. Not what I would call a conventional takeoff, but we'll take it. It is actually raining though, so I'm going to go ahead and arm the anti-ice. And what am I missing? Landing lights are on. I want to climb out. Am I missing anything? Not that I can think of, no. Let's decrease the climb rate to 2,800 feet. And since we're hitting 6,000, let's go ahead and finish our climb to 270. (2,400 feet per minute for that for now. Okay, flaps are up, gear is off. Landing lights I'll keep on until 10,000. We can set the engine start switches back to auto. And we have about 250 knots. We're climbing at about 2,400 feet per minute. Let's punch it up to 2,800. And I will change my... You know what? Hold on. Let me mind myself here. was a little bit bumpy on the way out of the clouds. Look at the condensation on the wings. Nice. Fuel's still okay. We definitely have enough fuel to get us to Rome. 10,000 feet. Lights are off. Alright, just double checking myself. We should be pressurizing, and I believe we are. And I don't think we're going to need anti-ice anymore. We'll turn those off. That's it. Alright folks, so welcome aboard. Our first flight is Ryanair 197 with service to Rome from Florence. Total flight time is going to be 1 hour and 5 minutes. We're already, what, like 10-15 minutes in? So it should be a fairly quick flight. We might even get there ahead of schedule. Let me know if the volume is too loud, if anything's just out of whack, and I'll try to adjust it. I'm trying to create a slightly more enjoyable audio experience, and I found that going straight to my stream source for adjusting volumes is way easier, because I don't have that many channels. Okay, let's go ahead and reduce that climb rate a little bit. Let's go ahead and extend to probably 280 knots. Winds are currently out of the west at 52. How are we looking? It'll be a quartering tailwind pretty much the whole way. But with only about... Oh, there we go. There's that mass of waypoints. Hold on. Get rid of the waypoints, get rid of the airports. We got a whole bunch of waypoints around Rome. Weather, I think, is experimental right now anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. Actually, we crossed transition altitude back at 6,000 feet. Excuse me. But that's fine. So if the radar is set to 160 nautical miles, that means this is literally going to take me less than 20 minutes, which means I might not even hit cruise altitude. Let me see. Easiest thing to do is to check my charts. Oh, okay. I thought it was outside of the departure. That's good. So, basically from Firenze to Roma. That's our first leg. Next leg would be Roma, Napoli. And so it begins. Literally, my first and last flight, my first and last flights in Italy this year. But maybe next year we'll come back here a bit more often, huh? Okay. We're climbing at 2,000 feet per minute, and we're about 5,000, less than 5,000 feet from our target altitude. Let's just go ahead and decrease the climb rate to, I want to say 1,400 feet per minute. That should give us enough juice to get up to the top. And if we can, we will increase to Mach 7.8 at a minimum. And there we go. I could have theoretically hit level change, but I think I want the aircraft to build up speed as much as it can. Now, one last mental double check. I want to be between 21,000 and 17,000 feet. So, flight level 210, 170. 210 is the ceiling, 170 is the floor. How many miles am I away from Viteb? Let's see. Viteb is there. So, about 18, 46, 65. So I would need to drop to 17,000 from 27,000 feet. That's 10,000 feet. If it was 9,000 feet, I could start as close as, I think, 30 nautical miles away and still make it. So 10,000 would be like 40 nautical miles. So I think what has to happen is I need to begin my descent. Let me get rid of this so I can see it. $39. Pretty much when I get to, I think, Upono is when I want to start descending. So, like I said, this is a fast flight. It's kind of crazy. But let me look at the chart one more time. That's the first restriction, and we're going to be going 250 knots all the way in. Then 230, 220, and then we need to be at 6,000 feet. No lower than 6,000 feet at Nibug, and no faster than 220 knots. The flight in and of itself is relatively quick. I think what makes it longer is just the slow speeds here, because we're going to be kind of moving slow to this point and then lining up for the approach. So that's it. Wow, these clouds though, they look nice. Once we get to this waypoint, we can probably begin our descent. We already are at 27,000 feet. So we'll plan for 17,000. And we'll reduce our speed to 290 on the way down. We're going 462 knots above the ground speed, sorry. So at a minimum 2,000 feet per minute is fine. And yes, we already literally are descending. I thought that it was going to be a longer flight. I was wrong. Complete freedom, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you. I hope you're very well today. We're descending into Rome. This is my first of, I think, two flights today. We have taken off from Lima, India, Romeo, Quebec, which I believe is Firenze. There's a different name for the airport, but I believe they treat it as Florence Airport. We're going to go to Rome, and then we're going to go to Naples for our second and final flight today. I hope that you and your friends and family are doing very well, complete freedom. And I tell you what, while we're waiting for our situation to get to landing, oh yeah, we're I kid you not. I literally took off, and we got to maybe about the 15-minute mark and began our descent. I think it's going to take us longer to set up our approach to land at Rome than it took to actually get up in the air. I'm not even joking. I'm serious. Let me arm my speed brakes. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah. Speed brake is armed. And was it an off-schedule descent? Nope, it wasn't. At least not as far as I know. But yeah, I was away last week, family trip, and we had a very nice time. It was great to travel. It was great to stay in a different place and just do some nice things, spend some great time with family, have wonderful food, get I got a good chunk of sun and had a nice time. Did a lot of walking, came back super tired, and I could barely even stay up to when I normally stay up, which is great. And I woke up this morning and we were like, okay, let's go take care of this, and this. I went out, I picked up some things. And then tonight, some family time. But yeah, it was a very fast week. Like most, I think, good vacations are. Give me a moment, I want to double check something. Well, I won't be able to really tell weather with that, but let me take a look at the conditions again. I'm just going to go ahead and take a look and see what real world weather is like. Meets our top right now, VFR. Winds are out of the west-northwest at 4 knots. We have 10-kilometer visibility, and we're either cav-okay or we are very good for lack of cloud cover. However, the chunk of cloud cover that we have in front of us would suggest otherwise. So we do have a radio altimeter set already for 392 feet. We shouldn't have a problem with that. And I think that's all I have to be concerned about for now. Ooh, look at that. Kind of shooting the curl here. Alright, one loud flyby. Here we go. Actually, not that loud, but kind of cool. I'm telling you, the clouds in X-Plane 12 now are wonderful. I'm happy about them. Okay, and we've actually gotten to 17,000 feet. Let's slow down to 250. I think I probably broke the speed limit coming down here, but that's okay. Yeah, let's just get down to 250 knots. And the next altitude restriction is going to be literally at Nebug, where we need to be at 6,000 feet. So, 6,000, that's 11,000 feet we have to drop, which means we should probably begin our descent now. However, we need to be no lower than about 9,600 feet around this area. So I'll take my time. We'll see what we can do. Let's get down to 6,000, and we will descend per the current speed. Ground speed's 339er, so we're going to descend at about 1,500 feet per minute. Maybe even 1,400 feet per minute, just to be chill. I'm not going to have problems with terrain in the area because I'm way above it. Like, way above it. Terrain's easily 10,000 feet or more below me, so we're not going to have a problem. Yeah, and if we are 6,000 feet at this point, we're fine. But yeah, it was a fast week. It was a really, really fast week. I tell you, airline travel is both interesting and a bit rigorous. Of course, you typically don't tend to pay attention to that when you're flying to your destination vacation. You know you're on a like you're on a high. Like you're looking forward to it. You're just like, hey, let's go, let's enjoy this, blah blah blah. Oh, we've got some rain. We had some rain. So it looks like we have some precip in the area. I'm going to have to watch because I don't want icing to form. And inclement weather in this simulator is a thing. Actually, can I get the ATIS for this airport? Let's see. Do we have ATIS? Do we have ATIS? ATIS, ATIS. ATIS is 128, I'm sorry, 12185. Anything? Did I punch it in correctly? I wonder. One two one 12185. Oh, by ATC?
Fiumicino, information, Echo, 1330, Zulu, special, arriving, runway 34, right, departing runway 25, weather, wind, light, and variable, visibility 8 miles, rain, sky conditions, view at 6,900, scattered at 16,000, temperature 13, dew point 10, QNH 997, advise on initial contact you have, information, Echo.
Okay, so it is raining, which means we're going to have issues with weather. I'm going to turn my anti-ice on now and just be prepped. Actually, let me switch back to the radio because I missed the QNH.
Fiumicino, information, Echo, 1330, Zulu, special, arriving, runway 34, right, departing runway 25, weather, wind, light, and variable, visibility 8 miles, rain, sky conditions, view at 6,900, scattered at 16,000, temperature 13, dew point 10, QNH 997, Advise on initial contact you have. Information. Echo.
Niner 7. And they do have rain. Let's get down to 330 knots. Not part of the default aircraft, no. I have the Avitap plugin, and I'm guessing the Zebo, even the not so latest Zebo for X-Plane, should have it built in. So it will be like, on the captain's side. It might even be on the first officer's side as well, but it should be in the Zebo models that are either being worked on for 12 or at least in the ones for X-Plane 11. Okay, so we got past the major mountainish stuff. I think we should be fine the rest of the way down to 6,000 feet. We're slowing down to 230 knots. That's great. And then we're going to go to 220 knots, and we're going to be at 220 knots up until we make the base leg, and then on the turn to final, we have to go to 210 and then 200 knots. But not bad. Coming into a kind of sunsetty Rome right now, which is kind of cool at the same time. Outside temperature is a TAT of 5. I'm going to leave my anti-ice on until this gets above 8. And even at that point, if it starts to rain, I think we should be okay. And this is default. I don't have ortho at all right now. I'm hoping, I think I'd like to install some ortho at some point, but I'm not in a rush to do it because I think the software which creates ortho is not set yet for compatibility with X-Plane 12. There are some issues that are preventing, I think, really good installation of ortho, like the trees are not showing up where they're supposed to once the ortho's installed. I mean, I think that's normal, but I think what I'm trying to say is, no. Height maps or terrain isn't working out the way it's supposed to. I think that's what people were talking about the last time that I knew, which is why I'm holding off. But really, right now, the sim, it kind of looks to me a little bit like what P3D would look like at almost a solid 60 frames a second with 3D clouds. This scenery looks nice. It looks quite nice. You want to venture outside of GA, and I'm curious to venture back into GA. The bridge for me is business jet flights because they're technical enough to be able to fly into heavy airports, but they're also general aviation enough that you could typically or theoretically fly at VFR and go to really small places. Okay, we're at 6,000 feet. Do we have to slow down to 220? I think we do. Yes. 220 knots. And let me make sure that my nav aids are switched. I believe they have to be switched to 1089er at this point. I set both nav 1 and nav 2 to the same course heading and frequency, just in case I need them. Both. But there we go. Going to 220 knots. We don't need to be at anything below 6,000 feet until we get on the final approach. And when we get on the final approach, wait, how does that work? We're going to be going from 6,000 to 2,500 feet? I am missing something. Let me take a look at my flight plan. Okay, we're fine for airspeed, so I'm not worried about, oh, we're going to go off. No, we're not. However, I am going to get rid of this discontinuity right now, just so I don't have any unexpected surprises. I'm not flying on VATSIM, and I'm not flying with other live traffic at the moment that I can see, so I'm not worried. Let's go back up. Odula was where I came from, or where I'll be going to. Wait, how does that work? Odula is here. So we have, let's see, 484, 486, 487, bam, Odula. And then we have what are probably going to be a series of waypoints here, which I think are what these represent. So blame it on my lack of experience reading European charts. I think this leaves me leverage to descend wherever I want to. I got these two waypoints confused. I need to be no lower than 6,000 feet here, but then I can begin descending. 5,500, 4,500, 3,500, and then 2,500 for the approach. That's what I missed. That's what I missed. We'll be coming back up to Odula from the bottom. Theoretically, I could take a shortcut to Odula, but I'm at 6,000 feet. So let me get to 2,500 feet first and then decide. So, we'll go 2,500 feet right now. And we'll drop out at about 2,000 feet per minute. And we'll go to 200 knots. We'll see how quickly we can get out of the sky without getting too much faster. And once we level off at 2,500 and we're at about 210-ish knots, we'll turn back around for Odula, which at this point might pass us at our 3 o'clock. So let's see if we can take a shortcut first. And actually complete freedom. I might even do the second flight in the ERJ, just so you can see what the old regional jets used to look like. And I think I have that plane in an Alitalia livery. I might do that. I might. I know the plane well enough to get myself into trouble, but otherwise I think we're good. Okay, we're at 3,500 feet. I think we're going to be safe enough to go direct to Odula. Direct to Odula, execute. And we'll get rid of the discontinuity in front of Odula, which means we will have access to the approach. Not on intercept heading, no worries. Disregard. Once we turn from Odula to what I believe is the final approach for 3-4 left, I will arm the approach mode. But not before that. Also, I gotta double check my chart real quick. What is the missed approach altitude? Missed approach is climb to 3,000. Okay, so 3,000 is the initial altitude. I think that's where we stay. There we go, folks. There is the runway. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit the approach button. Okay, let's get to 180 and start dropping some flaps. Flaps 1 and flaps 2 and flaps 5. And why we are turning still to the right, I don't know, so I'm going to go to heading hold and turn back to the ILS approach. It might have gotten confused after I cut a waypoint or two out of it. We'll go flaps 10. And maybe flaps 15, because I want the attitude to be a little bit more neutral. That's better. Okay. Nav is a little bit messed up, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust my heading. I'm going to intercept the approach and go direct to Foxtrot India 34 left. I think the earlier issue that I had with not being on an intercept heading messed me up, but that's fine. Oh, no worries, man. Lurk away, my friend. Glad to have you here. I'm going to be paying close attention to these diamonds for my localizer and my glide slope. I'm going to be coming in at about a 45-degree angle, like a 40 to 45-degree angle to the final approach. So I don't know what altitude I should be at, but I'm going to pay attention, and if the glide slope goes past this point, I know I need to start descending. What I'll probably do is make sure I turn manually to final by using my heading bug, and then toggle my approach mode to make absolutely sure I do what I'm supposed to do. Actually, let me turn on my LNAV now and see if it actually flies me where I want to go. We'll see. Let me get to, I'm going to say like 160 knots because we're pretty close to the airport. We'll do flaps 25, and I will deploy gear now. Okay, so gear is down. We're gonna do auto brake 3. Gear is down 3 greens, and the approach mode is working. That's great. Flaps 25. Let's do flaps 30. And there we go. Runway's in sight. There's the airport. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be landing in just a few minutes. Flight attendants, please take your seats for arrival. Okay, even better, we are now following the glide slope down to the airport. I can probably reduce my speed to 155 or so. Give it just a touch of nose up. Okay. 1,000 to level. Or was that 1,000 to go? I think it was 1,000 to go. So if it's 1,000 to go, no, it's not 1,000 to go because it was like 1,600. I think I hit my decision height. Wait, did I? No. Did she slow down? The horn came on. I think I was like somewhere around 1,000 feet above my decision height, maybe. Now we're coming close to 1,000 feet, period.
1,000.
1,000. Height checked. Missed approach altitude set. Flaps 25. I'm sorry, excuse me. Flaps 30. Gear down 3 greens. Speed brakes are armed. Engine start switches are continuous. And I don't know why I didn't have my landing lights on, but that's okay. Also, I didn't have my, sheesh, I didn't have my, whatchamacallit, altimeter set.
Minimums.
Landing.
300.
Auto throttle off. My aircraft.
200. 100.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oop, floaty. There we go. Wonderful. And down. Auto brakes on. So speed brakes up, reverse green. $80 knots. Auto brake disarm. Okay, not too shabby. We did go further than I wanted to. Let's put those speed brakes away. But there we go. Welcome down, everybody. Welcome to Rome. My local time is 2:53 p.m., but I'm on the eastern part of the U.S. It's... How many hours ahead of us is Rome? It's got to be at least 6 to 7 hours ahead, so... Whatever the time is, it's dark over there. But welcome down. We're here. If I was going to say anything, I would say we had slightly reduced braking action. Superb, though. A slight bit of skidding. We'll probably take a look at the replay once we actually get down, because I might turn X-Plane off and on to do my second flight to Naples, and the second flight should probably be way, way faster. Hey, Quasi, hello, my friend, and Iron Condor Simulations, my good friend. Hope you're doing very well today. Overqualified, I see. You haven't seen some of my other landings, Quasi. And Super Friends Assemble on a wet runway with things. But we just got in. We literally, and I mean literally, took about 44 minutes runway to runway. We're crossing runway 07. We've got live traffic turned on. No big. What am I missing? Probably my taxi lights. I can probably turn my position light back to steady. And hold on, slow it down. Let's take a look at the charts for our airport here. I will most likely make my next turn at Mike and follow it to the terminal. But welcome aboard, everybody. Glad to have you. I am on a single screen setup today, so my apologies for not responding sooner. I hope you're having a very, very good day today. I'm in X-Plane 12. I am sincerely enjoying the simulator so much. Do not get me wrong. I do like me some good MSFS, especially when I'm flying the 787 or one of the Airbusi, one of the Airbus aircraft. But at the same time, I have started to enjoy this. This thing is like, it's like somebody invited you to go to like an art exhibit, and at first you're like, oh, this doesn't look all that, like interesting, whatever, blah. But the more you fly it, and the more you just start being in this ecosystem, if you will, the more that it just rubs off on you. I don't know about you, but it does for me. So, don't mind me. I forgot to turn on my APU. That's fine. Let me just go slow here. Text lights can come all the way off. Engine start switches can come off. Slow it down. What stand is that? 608? Let's take it. Let's take it. Or can I take 607? Let's see. 608, and I think 607 was back that way. Yes, okay. Whoops, excuse me.
Brace yourself.
Oh, I got a raid coming in. Hang on, hang on. Let me see who's there. But let me go ahead and get tuned into this this approach to the taxiway. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for coming in. I am DigiDriver. We're flying an X-Plane 12 today, and we have just arrived in Rome from Firenze, from basically Florence Airport, and I am parking the aircraft. So my apologies if I don't say hi to everybody immediately. Give me just a few seconds more. All right, hang on. And just about here. Beautiful. All right, let me check chat. Agent Presta, hello. Thank you. Dryson, hello. Welcome, everybody. Um, I'm doing fine. I just got into Rome. Okay, hold on. Before I do anything, I'm going to turn the APUs on just to remember that I actually have them on. But we're going to watch the replay of this landing, and then we're going to see how we're going to see how stable X-Plane 12 actually is, because we're going to actually watch the replay a few times, and then we're going to go from Rome to Naples, and we are going to call it a stream. But yeah, you're watching X-Plane 12 right now. This is Beta 14. I am running this on an AMD Ryzen 9 5900X with a 3060 Ti. So it ain't the most beefy setup on the internet, but it gets the job done. Iron Condor, I think I had reduced braking action on on touchdown. I landed 3-4 left, and I had auto brake 3, and I had full reverse. So I'm thinking I either skidded a teensy bit. RC3 just crashes. Ugh. No bueno. No bueno. I'm happy with 14, man. Ever since I heard people were having trouble with anything else, this is where I'm staying until otherwise informed. Just a little bit off of the center line. Let's take a look at the approach. So coming in, a little bit of condensation on the wings. I guess that makes sense. Just a little bit of float. A little bit of float. Nice. The nose wheel came down a little hard. That's okay. All right, now let's take a look at the lateral profile from a different view.
10.
About here. This is what I call the duck cam. Pavlin, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Great to see you guys. And duck. So my rudder pedals are a little bit borked, which is why you're going to see me do a little bit more wavy on the runway. But no, I think there's still a bit of moisture on the runway which affected braking action. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to stick to it. Oops, sorry. That was way louder than I wanted it to be. So we're coming into Rome, and we'll take a look at what the landing would have looked like from a passenger seat. And my apologies for the stutters. I don't know what causes them. Let me see if I can minimize the window, maybe get some of that frame rate back. Hey, Agent Presta, good to see you. Welcome aboard. Thank you so much. My apologies in advance for the necessary verification. It's something that I've done to help ensure the kind of friendliness of the community, if you will. And the people that don't want to be friendly have to answer to folks like Iron Condor because he's a mod. Dave Rendon, hello, my friend. God bless you. I hope you're doing very well today. From the southern tip of Italy to the northern tip, I just landed in Rome. I took off from Firenze. And Pavlin, thanks for the 20 bits. The Condor Hammer. Angry Condor. Used with permission. With permission. But yeah, folks, we're down. Welcome to Rome. Waiting for. He said waiting for someone to get out of line. Oh my word. Trying to warm up and relax for work. Yeah, speaking of warming up, I came back from someplace warm. I had a nice time with family last week, and I am trying to figure out stuff to do. It's supposed to snow tomorrow, Dave, as far as I understand. I don't know if I'm going to be getting any snow, but I know that parts of my region is going to be good. I can get out of line quick. Quasi, you're cool. You're cool, my friend. You're cool. You would have to do something insanely stupid to get on Iron Condor's radar. And I know you. I think you I. You I. Alright, so folks, let me fast forward this and get back to the terminal. I fast forward to maintain some stability. So, chat. You're exempt. Question. Does anybody want to see me try to do the Rome to Naples flight in a 737, in an A319, or in an ERJ 135? Sound off in comments right now. Let me know what your opinion is. Concord. Dude, do you know how close Naples is? All right, A319 is the first one I see so far. Yes. Man, people silly. All right, so that's the replay. We'll turn the replay off. And oh, of course. Of course. Excuse me, folks. Give me a bit. I have the APU turned on. Let's just go ahead and turn off the engines. I might restart the sim. There's a bug whenever you use replay mode and you're flying the default 737. Not a problem if you have Zebo, probably, but it does not want to. It doesn't want to. What was I gonna say? It doesn't want to. Like, I don't know, release the engine controls after that. But that's okay. Also, want to know another reason why I like X-Plane 12? How many times did I want stock airports with moving jetways? Sure, the weather tarps don't cover the plane, but the jetway connects. I'm happy about that. No snow right now, but Muddy feels like it's snowing. Yes, the stock jetways connect in 12. It's fantastic. All right, so folks, give me a bit. Give me a bit. Let me slide you over to the Be Right Back screen if I have it. There we go. And I am going to exit X-Plane and come back in. We are going to fix up the next flight in the Airbus A319 as we speak. and I'm going to close some windows as well. So, if if you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, I said hello basically in Italian. So, if you want to hear a little bit of my very, 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 very rusty Italian, feel free to check out the beginning. But I'm learning Italian, Portuguese, French, Japanese, and Korean. That's super tough. Super tough. But let me go ahead and prep and jump back into the sim. Okay, I will open up X-Plane 12 again, and it shouldn't take more than maybe about 5 minutes for me to actually get everything set again. Actually, it will take less. It will take way less than that to get loaded. I have it on the NVMe drive, so that should be good. Okay, I'm ignoring the update. I don't want it. So let's go back to the screen, and you'll see what I see. All right, folks, new flight. We're going to grab the TOLIS A319. A bit sad that my Bombardier Challenger 300 doesn't work. The 650 should. I know it does because I've seen people fly it. And let's take the... Do I care? I'll just take the standard def. I think. I think? No, I think this is the one I want. I want the high def. So I'm not flying the Frontier in Italy. What could I take? Not the Aeroflot, not the Air Canada. Austrian Eurowings. Um, hmm. What do I have? Oh, nope. I'm taking Cobalt. I'm taking Cobalt. I'm not missing an opportunity to use something near the Mediterranean. So I'm taking the Cobalt plane, and we're going to go to Roma, and we are going to pick. Where did we go? We went here. Let's start here, 609er, and we'll keep the same time that we had before and load in. All right, folks, second flight of the day should be way faster than my first one. Actually, no, the first one was really fast, so this will be about the same. Only I know my flows maybe just a little bit better in the 319 than in the 737, so it might take a little bit less time to get ready. I do still have to make the flight plan happen though, so my apologies. I think on the radio you say Cobalt as Chrono or Kronos Airlines. I forget. I forget. Let me see. Let me see. Airline codes. Cobalt. It's Foxtrot Charlie Bravo. The two-letter IATA code was CO FCB. Cobalt Air. I think it's called Kronos. I think on frequency. All right, I will disable the Xpilot client because I'm not using it, clearly. And boop, that's it, done. Oof, I do like me some Tolas. And let's get the jetway connected. And we'll start requesting ground services. And we'll try to actually pay attention to see the actual trucks and luggage loaders come in. But I needed to see the registration and any kind of fin or alternate representation. So 5 Bravo, 5 Bravo Delta Charlie Victor. That's going to be our next flight, folks. FCB 197, Rome to Naples. And A319, 5 Bravo. Ooh, look, 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 look. We have traffic. I don't have the Balthazar real traffic yet, but I do see an Air Berlin. Well, it's an old livery. I still have it. I don't care. But yeah, we do have traffic. I'm happy about that. No worries, Iron Condor. All right. So while I get the flight plan ready, you may see some other ground service vehicles come up to the plane and do some pretend service, whether it's fuel, luggage, or otherwise. It's actually part of the actual built-in sim. There's no add-on that I installed for that. But while you do that, I'm going to focus on getting the flight plan filed. So it's 5 Bravo Delta Charlie Victor. And Charlie Victor is going to be the fin number. And scheduled flight time is literally an hour. We're going to take an extra 3.5 thousand kilos of fuel because this is a digi flight and I tanker fuel like nobody's business. And it's Romeo India Foxtrot Niner Hotel departure to the Papa November Zulu 1 Bravo arrival. And it's going to be a kind of racetrack approach, kind of like what we did to get into Rome, only from the east to the west. So let's save the flight and generate the flight plan. I'll save it to the same folder and we'll start getting everything prepped. Easy now. All right, let's get the flight plan downloaded, save it to the same folder, and okay, here we go. So I actually open up the FMGCS system without having to stay in the cockpit? Because I kind of want to see. I kind of want to see. Um, no, it's not going to work. Well, for one, the plane's turned off. But hey, complete freedom for your reference. The TOLUS does have built-in AviTab integration. So there you go. Now, this is a cold and dark start. Let's go ahead and get batteries 1 and 2 on. We'll say external power is already available. External power is now available and used. And now we're going to do the annunciator light test. So now this thing lights up like, say it with me, a Christmas tree. And we're taking a look at all of these lit thingies to see that they're lit. Same thing with the main screens. I like how the screens are actually kind of flashing and doing their thing. It's neat. I'm nerding out a little bit right now. Also, I forgot to tell you this during the first flight. I had an ultra nerd moment last week. On the way down to my destination, after we got there, I was about to I stepped off the plane and I was waiting for my wife to step off. And she said, "Oh, hey, by the way, my husband's a flight sim pilot. Is it okay if he says hi to the pilots?" And I was just like, "What?" So next thing you know, I'm saying hi to the pilots. And then the pilots say something like, "Hey, would you like to sit in the captain's chair?" I'm like, "Excuse me?" So before you could say flight plan, I was sitting in the captain's chair of an Airbus A321 Neo. I goobered so hard. I'm like, wait, I recognize this. I recognize this. I recognize this. And the screens were basically a fact, like a the TOLUS is basically a pixel perfect representation. I'm not saying it's better than the flight factor. I'm just saying all the flights that I've done, then I go to the mathematics. No. I mean, I was just beyond gone. Um, I talked the captain and the first officer were there. I told them I was just like I was just beside myself. And and my family's waiting up for me. And my dad in particular, he was like he told me later, he's like he was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and he was like, "Wait, did something happen to them? What happened?" And I come out with this humongous grin on my face. Before we basically even started the vacation, I was done. Yes, she took a picture. She took a picture. That is classified, my friend. But trust me, it did happen. But I was just so happy. I was so, so happy. Unbelievable, but true. Folks, this plane is turned on. I'm going to start turning on the nav. I'm sorry, the IRS system to nav. I'm going to check the APU and the engines for a fire test. And I'm going to set my ADIRS to heading mode. And just pretend I have this thing tuned to Unicom. I'm not a VATSIM, but oh my gosh, like I was nerding so hard. It was fun. It was funny and it was fun. Oh, there we go. See? See? This is the kind of like default mode. They just finished loading me up with some food, and now this truck in particular is going to be leaving. It is pulling up its stabilizer pylons, and there it goes. Okay, so the luggage might come later. I wish I was able to actually see the luggage come and also do the FMGCS stuff from outside, but let me go ahead and just get myself fixed here. I will switch over to hectopascals on the outside as well. And hold on. I have my flight plan set. I just have to look at it. And we'll pull it up on this screen here. So we will refresh and we'll take a look at our second and final flight for today. We're flying from Rome Fiumicino to Napoli. Cost index is 43 and we're going to be climbing to flight level 290. I'm assuming there are no restrictions that are going to keep me from hitting that normally, but let's go ahead and take a look, shall we? Give me a bit, actually. And excuse me if you hear any dings or other noises. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing any notifications. I have a habit when I flight sim of tuning things out really easily, so I want to make sure I don't do that. Okay, Rome Fiumicino, we are at stand 608. No, sorry, 609. And airport right here. If we take off on the same runway, actually, I think we're going to take off on runway 34 right. So when we leave, we'll go down Romeo to Hotel, or Romeo to Bravo, and then Bravo merges with Charlie, Charlie Lima, Delta Lima. Wait, where is 34? No, this is the west runway. Yeah, so this is 34 right. It's got a pretty big MALSR lighting system. That's pretty cool. So that's fine. Let's take a look at what the departure is going to be. What's the departure? Departure is going to be the... Oh, wait a minute. We're taking off on 25. Why did I think we were taking off on 34? That's weird. Okay, we had to go that way anyway. That's fine. We're taking the Reefy 9 hotel departure to, I guess, what looks like the Ponzi B? No, this is the Papa November Zulu 1 Bravo arrival. And we're landing 2-4 at Naples. So, let's take a look at the departure. RIFFI 9 hotel. Okay, so I believe we go to Sosak and then we fly out to Reefy. Transition altitude for this flight is going to be 6,000 like before out of Firenze. And that takes care of my departure out of Rome. So, next thing is to pull up Naples. Naples, arrival first. I believe it was Papa November Zulu 1 Bravo. Yes. So, I think we're going to be coming in straight from Ponza. I think. And then we're going to be following this kind of like thing in to the runway. We're landing 2-4. Iron Condor, what do you say? Do you want me to do a ILS or an RNAV approach? Because I'll do an RNAV just to see how this plane behaves. I think I want to do RNAV. Because I mean, ILS works, but RNAV is a bit more technical. I'm nowhere near the professionalism some pilots have that they can actually tune like a VOR approach and get like a pretend glide slope for it. I still have to learn a bit about it. But yeah, let's pick an RNAV approach for runway two. Was it 24? 24. Yeah. Okay, that is the arrival. Let's go to approach. Let's do 24. Where's 24? Wait, I said 24. Oh, duh. I was looking at Rome. So we have an ILS Zulu, and we have an RMP Zulu. RMP Yankee, runway 24, LPV only. What in the world is that? LPV only. That's interesting. I have no idea what LPV stands for. Landing pattern visual, maybe? Maybe. But if you're doing Cat 1, that would, I don't think that's visual. I think that's something else. All right, so let me go ahead and just make things simple. I will take the RNP Zulu and we'll still arm the approach just to see how it behaves. And that's it. Okay, so now that's set and I can probably, anybody out there? Okay, nobody right now. Did it finish service? They did. Cool. All right. Yeah, we are still hooked up. Good. All right, we're good. We're good. We are almost aligned. So let me go ahead and start getting the rest of this set up. I feel like I'm slow right now, but that's okay. All right, engine type. Wingtips have sharklets. I think I got an airplane with CFMs. Looks like it to me. Oh no, wait. This is an IAE, is it not? Aircraft config. Oh, engine type is auto. It will match the engine type based on delivery. And it looks like I think this is the CFM. I think. I think? No. The CFMs have those reverser ports that open up on all four sides. It's okay. I'm not worried about that right now. But let me go ahead and double check my numbers so that I load this plane up the way it's supposed to go. And I will turn on external power, high pressure air, and low pressure air so the aircraft interior is nice. How many passengers am I taking with me today? I am taking 119 passengers, and I'm taking 3,000 kilograms of cargo. So I'm probably going to do like 1,400 in the front and 1,700 in the back. That gives me a zero fuel weight config of 55.8 at 27.8 for the computer, which is down here. We use this one. Okay. Init. And yes, my AirX cycle is off. I forgot to update it. But let's have some fun. FCB 197. We have Rome Fiumicino to Napoli. We're going to align the IRS and we're going to take, oh, I have to re-input the flight number. Boston excessive was 48. I could be wrong, but I'll double check the paper that I have on my website. I'm sorry, 43. Cruise temp, cruise is going to be flight level 290. I don't even know if we're going to get up there. It's going to be a pretty quick flight, but we'll have some fun. How much fuel do we want? The max that I can take for this leg is literally 9.8, so 9,800 kilograms. GPS primary is set and the load settings are applied. So 55.8 at 27.8 should stand. And 9.8, it's probably going to give me a bunch of extra fuel. But like I said, I tanker fuel. GPS primary is set. Extra is going to literally be 7.5. I could probably do circuits back like 2 or 3 times, maybe even 4 times without trouble. So that's fine for now. Okay. And now I can start putting in the flight plan. So out of Roma, we will take 25. We're going to take, what was the departure again? Rifi. Oh, interesting. They don't have it? What's the closest thing to the Rifi? And why doesn't it show up here? Let me edit this and use the prior AirAct cycle. It might literally be a problem with that. We'll take this one, 2211, that's fine. Save it and redo it. I want to see what flight plan they give me. Sorry for that, folks. Localizer performance with vertical guidance. Interesting. Wow. Wow. All right. So the adjusted flight plan for my... No, no, it's the same flight plan. Why can't I find basically an ILS with GPS? I get you. Am I missing something here? Yeah, it says 25 out of Rome, but the departure isn't showing up. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. It's Reefy 9 what? 9 hotel, but it's not showing up. Okay, am I worried about it? Not really. I'm going to go back to my standby. I'm going to go to the Navigraph Charts website and find the closest approximation to that based on the available flight plans that I have. So I can import the flight straight from SimBrief. I will take the second one that I made and yeah, exactly. It doesn't actually have the Reefy 9 Hotel departure. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to pick a new departure out of Rome because for some strange reason, it doesn't show it. So I'm going to take a look at the Zebri 5 Alpha departure and see how it shows. Zebri's not that far off. We could do Zebri to Reefy and still stay more or less on the plan. And since we're taking off to the southwest anyway, that's fine. That's fine. I'm good. Zebri 5 Alpha it is. Bam. Okay, and transition is going to be, I believe, Zebri. Yes, Zebri, not Sosak. Which means... Oh, okay, hold on. I am obviously rusty here. To Okuno, Pepix, Reefy 9 Golf. Can we find the Reefy 9 Golf? Yes, we can. We'll take that. Thank you. There we go. Takes me to Reefy. I'm a happy boy. Okay, great. So from Reefy, I can go straight to Ponza, which is Papa November Zulu. And I think that's part of the arrival anyway. So let's go to the RadNav. No, flight plan. Go here. Go to arrival. We're going to take the Ponza 1 Bravo. And we'll take ILS. We'll take the RNAV. Or was it the Yankee? What the hey? Let's have some fun. We'll take the Yankee. That's the I think that's the one that's the GPS enable the ILS enabled GPS approach. So we're going to take the Ponza 1 Bravo arrival via Ponza. Oh, I have to, I think I have to add that VOR. Oh, no, I don't. It's right there. Great. That's awesome. Okay. Now, unlike my first flight, I can put performance information in, and I will, because this airplane likes the more information you give it, the better. Okay. Let's pick flaps 2 for departure, and it's going to give us a V1 of 132. Same thing for rotate, and a V2 of 135. Flaps are going to be 2 with an up of 0.3 for our trim, and flex temp is going to be 66 degrees. Transition altitude is 6,000 feet. And there we go. That's it. It's that simple. I'm happy about that. So that takes care of that. And I will leave the flight plan on the second screen. And am I missing anything? Not much right now. It looks like it's raining outside, so let me go ahead and get ready to go. 2257, my squawk, of course. Transponder mode is on right now. Weather and systems are off. Door is closed, and we'll get our overhead lighting set. So, nav logo lights to 2, beacon light to on, crew supply to on. We'll get our fuel pumps flowing. And what else do we need to do? Well, probably get my APU started. But before I do that, let me check my ECAS screens. And I like going through the individual screens to make sure that we're good. Fuel is 9,800 kilograms, balanced and inserted. Green hydraulic circles are in the green. Electronics running off external power. Local elevation is 290, or local pressure is 290. Nothing red here. Engines are off. APU still offline. And cabin and flight deck are not that bad for temperature. Doors are closed. Slides are armed. Brake temps are really cold, and pressures are 210. They're in the green. Hydraulics are not working right now, and I think we are okay. So now I can turn my APU on. APU to on. And start to on. And I think it's going to start raining soon. Thanks again, folks, for tuning in for our second and final flight today. While I'm warming up, I'm going to go ahead and remove wheel chocks, because that will complicate matters when I push back. Chocks are removed. Parking brake is on. I think I hear the APU spooling up now. All right. So the APU is coming up. And it hit available before we got to 100, which is kind of cool. APU bleed is on. External power can come off. We can dismiss the other services as well. And that's about it. I keep hearing popping in the sound. I hope that doesn't mean that we don't have sounds for the plane. I mean, I think we do. Pack flow normal. Although I could do pack flow low for more power for takeoff, so I'm not worried about that. I'll just do that. And that should do it. APU bleed is on. APU is available. We'll arm the emergency lights. Electronic signs. Fasten seatbelt signs are on. Standby compass light is lit. Dome lights are off. Nav logo lights position 2, beacons on, and let's go ahead and request pushback. When we push back, we are going to push back tail to the right so that we can actually go up Romeo to Bravo and Bravo to, I think, Bravo, 425. So that should do it. Let's also remove the jetway.
Fiumicino ground. Charlie Golf Tango Lima Sierra. Request pushback to the right.
Charlie Golf Tango Lima Sierra. Stand by. Pushback tractor is on the way.
Okay, so there was a little bit of rain, kind of like a spritz, but I'm going to be mindful of precip on departure. Am I missing anything? Oh, hello, pushback driver. I don't think I'm missing anything right now. Ooh, Etihad just landed.
Commencing pushback. Release parking brake.
Okay, parking brake release. And start the clock. Ignition mode start. Engine 2, please. TARA as of now. And we are running with IAEs. EGT is rising slowly. There we go. Made me second guess myself for a good like 5-10 seconds. But EGT is rising on engine 2. That's engine 1. Excuse me. Nice and hot. Let's do engine 1. Engine 2 is available. Engine 1 should be coming up shortly. Thanks for sticking around for the second flight of today, folks. I appreciate you being here. I am DigiDriver. I am a flight sim streamer and content creator. And now I'm in the grass. I think we should be good, sir. Why don't we just park here?
Crossing clear. Disconnect. Pushback completed.
Not a prob. Testing the off-road capability of this aircraft. And engine 2 is coming up. I'm sorry, engine 1. And there we go. That click means I can go from the APU bleed because the gens are running. APU bleed can come off. APU can come off, and now we're going to turn the probe and window heats on. Wing lights can come on. I will arm the strobes and arm the landing lights. We'll put the taxi light on, but we'll keep the turn-off lights off for now. Is there anything else that I'm missing up here? Not that I can think of right now. All right, how about down here? Oh, and it looks like my IAEs want to bring me back out of the grass. They taxi by themselves. I literally kid you not. Flight controls can be checked now, though. We'll do full left, full right, full forward, full back, full left deflection, release, and full right deflection. There we go. Also, quick speed brake check. Speed brakes deployed and released. That's it. Flight controls are free Ignition mode is back to normal. We're TARA already. We're going to go ahead and do WX&T, System 1, Predictive Wind Shear Arm, GCS Auto, and we will arm the speed brakes. Excuse me, ground spoilers. So I can get going. Hmm. Had my reversers on for some reason. Are they actually still open? No. Oh, got a Ryanair coming in now too. That's cool. So I will go around the corner here, unless I just turn around. I'll probably just do that. There we go. We're taking Romeo up to Bravo and then following it out to the end of 2-5 for our departure. We will set auto brake max for departure today, and we have our taxi lights on. Flaps can go to position 2. Flaps are set for departure. All right, so for all of you that don't know, this is X-Plane 12. I am currently on beta 14. It sounds like release candidate 3 is available for download, and if you take the sim now, it's probably the version you'll get by default. I think it's possible to downgrade to beta 14. That's probably where I will stay until the issues with the latest release candidates are ironed out, and then we'll see what happens. But in the past 3 months since the release of the sim, there has been a lot of iteration and activity that's happened with it, and I'm pleased to see what I have so far. This is basically just like a world away from what 11 used to look like and perform like on my computer. This is so much more efficient. It takes so much less of a drain on my resources. I can actually stream this. I don't know why I stopped being able to stream X-Plane 11 so well on my other computer. It was working better on the older computer I have, and I don't even know why that happened. Okay, flight attendants, please prepare for departure. Oops, somebody's coming in. Somebody is coming in. Right over that way. Ryanair's coming in for a landing. That's pretty cool. So that's live traffic. I mean, I think there's some kind of delay with that. I don't know how long it is, and I don't know how they handle differences in data overseas versus in the States, but it's nice to fly with traffic. Takeoff config. We are normal. We're set to go right now. And we are 2 turns away from getting out of here. 3 really, but you get the idea. There's actually 2 taxiways on this next left. So again, folks, second and final flight of the night is going to be from Rome to Naples. The expected cruise altitude is supposed to be flight level 290. I highly doubt we will get to that point. I'm probably just going to level off at 250 or even 230 and just take the flight from there, unless there's a problem with me crossing some extremely high mountain ranges, which I don't think there will be. Oh, wait. Over there? Yeah. Oh, right, of course, because I don't have the rest of the package from like real traffic. I don't get to see them taxi to the terminal. It's okay though. Maybe once I break out with my scenery dev company, I'll have a little bit more extra dinero to spend. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the RNAV 24 Yankee approach that I took is the one that actually has that interesting approach. Left turn for me, and we are about to get out of here. I will take a look at the minimum altitude requirement. It's 6,000. We don't have any restrictions on altitude for departure, so I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to set to final climb, so I'm probably just going to put in 250 for now and see how I feel. Let's hold short for a bit and prep. Landing lights on, nose light takeoff, strobe light on, and I think that's everything that I need. Oh, nice. Nice. I think, were those the reversers on that plane? Whoa. That's pretty cool. All right, anybody coming? I don't think anybody is coming down 2-5, so I should be good for departure. I'm actually happy they gave it to me. So, chrono on and brakes released. All right, folks, we had a nice little time in Rome. Now it's time for us to go to Naples. And there we go. Engine spool up. Engine stable and take off. All right, man flex. SRS runway auto thrust is flexing. We are blue, going to 80 knots and seen. B1 and rotate. Here we go. Positive rate of climb, gear up. Laps to 1. Outside temp is above minimums for ice. 1,000. Nav. Thrust climb, set. All right, we're getting some more power. take me to 190 and we will go to slats retrieval speed. Excuse me, slats retraction speed. And there we go. Flaps and slats have been retracted. And there's my clean speed right there. Wow. Beautiful. We're above 3,000 feet. And I think we're on our way to Zebri right now. This was the Reefy 9 Golf. But we're on our way to Zebri, so we can disregard this. Okay, it is rainy, and the temperature is dropping pretty quick, so I'm going to go ahead and arm my anti-ice. It's like, Digi, why are you being so careful about ice? Because I've tried flying an X-plane with inclement weather, and the icing will literally knock your airplane out of the sky. So let's just say I have experience in these matters. And if you don't believe me, take a look at my VOD a week and a half ago when I tried to fly out of Jackson for Salt Lake. That should settle your questions right there. Okay, we are now out of altitude, local pressure, I should say, back to standard. Very nice. So we have weather, systems, PWC. We can go ahead and stow the ground spoilers. And flaps are fully retracted. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. All right, breaking through the clouds on our way up to flight level 250 for now. Let me see what the flight plan looks like. Okay, so I don't know. I think we'll be good with 290. We just won't be there that long. I think so. And I'll go ahead and remove the discontinuity at this point. It's not necessary. Okay, no discontinuities at this time. If there would have been a discontinuity for the approach to runway 24, I would have left it there just to double check. I would prefer you go to Great Britain, but this is good too. Actually, to be honest, Pavlin, I do want to visit more international destinations. I have not done enough of that. I need to visit Great Britain. I need to go to Finland. I need to go to maybe like Estonia. I'd like to go to the Faroe Islands. Spend a lot more time spend a little bit more time at least in Iceland and Greenland, and then go to I think I said India, Sri Lanka, probably Madagascar, the Maldives. I want to go to. I have spent time in Southeast Asia. I might need to spend more time in Bali again, and I haven't done nearly enough flying in South Africa, and certainly not in South America. I need to expand. I need to expand my flight sim palette, if you will. I guess you could say that. We're way past 10,000 feet, and that's it. Not worried about the seatbelt signs. And you want to know why? Because this is why. Top of climb, top of drop. It's literally between 20 to 30 nautical miles. But we're good. So, second and final flight today in the Tolis A319. Gonna step outside, take a quick look at it. It's gonna get loud. I think the bloom and the kind of the brightness settings in the sim could use a little tweaking, but otherwise the clouds are absolutely wonderful, and weather representation in this game is second to none. I mean, if you got X Enviro involved with like like the weather engine, you would basically just completely clean up with weather generation and the things you could do to represent good systems, whether they're storm systems, snow systems, ice systems. Yeah, this is good stuff. X-Plane 12 continues to get refined a little bit more, I think, each week and each month. At least that's the hope. I'm having fun with it right now, and I literally have zero ortho scenery installed. Would I like to at some point? Probably, but it's not happening right now because it's not there's nothing that's set up. The ortho compatibility is only for like X-Plane 11, not 12 yet. Something has to be fixed with that, or whatever software it is that's used. I think it's Ortho for XP. Somebody else might use something else to build Ortho, but I'm not aware of any other freeware app other than Ortho for XP for Ortho building. But we shall see. And if you folks think I'm done flying P3D, you might be surprised. I want to fly P3D again in the near future. I think there's a chance I might be doing some streaming at the beginning of next year involving P3D to see what's up. And if you guys haven't heard what I can only describe as P3D version 6 will have a major graphics engine upgrade. Whether or not that means that the scenery rendering done in P3D is going to need to change, I don't know. However, it may be something that I get involved in. And that's all I'm going to say for right now. In the meantime, I have some other stuff to do, which I might do in a stream tomorrow. That's my plan. And then I think we will talk about the intended plan for the rest of this year and for next year with regards to me doing scenery development, my streaming schedule, things like that. Now, before I say anything else, let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and take a look at my info for the arrival because the system will eventually tell me, hey, punch in your arrival info. Do it now. Let's go to the ISCS screen. I don't think I'm going to have any arrival information. No, it doesn't. That part I think is broken still, but that's okay. I'll take a look at the... Does this give me METAR available? Because that would be so dope if the charts actually showed me current weather. It doesn't. But that's okay. I'll take a look at METAR for LIRN. Currently, we have MVFR, we have light rain. Winds are out of the southwest at 9. Ceiling is 2,500 broken. And the QNH is 9er 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 6. So, let's punch that in. And give me the temperature. Temperature I said was 15. Winds are 250 at 9. And transition altitude is probably going to be 6,000 like before. I'll double check the chart. What is the decision height for our arrival? Let's take a look at the approach. The Yankee is the one that's LPV only. The minimums are going to be... I'm going to use the highest height, which is going to be 670 feet for decision height. There's a way to configure that, but I'm not sure how that works. If I go flaps 3, I will do a V approach speed of 140 knots. So I'll do that. Let's go upstairs. Flap mode off, flap mode 3 on. Now that means when I land, it's going to say that my flaps are configured when I actually have them set to flaps 3. And it shows up here as well. And I have... I'm just going to go straight to top of descent to descent, so I'm not worried about it. We'll leave it in approach mode, and we're going to start descending. We'll start a descent now. And let me take a look at what the charts say for our arrival. (3,910 feet). So that will be the managed descent. And now we're trying to catch up to the green tennis ball, which is already below us. So hopefully this plane does not decide to drop faster than 3,000 feet per minute. Otherwise, I will intervene. And there we are. You're still waiting on parts, Pavlin. Okay. Okay. Sorry I missed your message before. Well, I hope that your new adventures are even better than the ones you had before. I gotta tell you, when I was on vacay, like it was nice to know that I could come home and do the sim, but while I was in a different place, I was enjoying the stuff that we were doing and the time that we were having. I think sometimes a change of pace does more for us than we think it does. And there's plenty of things that I picked up and that I thought about. For some reason, I'm having difficulty figuring out what some of those things were, but when I was there and I was thinking about, how I wanted to handle the rest of the year, I thought about my old friends. I had to say goodbye to four people this year that passed away. And I think two of them were from issues relative to cancer. So it sucks, but is what it is. It's life and it moves really fast. As a follower of Christ, I understand, hey, I'm born, one day I die. So better to get right with God before you get left behind. But I know not everybody thinks that way, and that's okay. It's a choice that you have to make on your own to say, what you want to believe, how you want to live. I'm happy to have you folks come along today and spend time with me. It's a privilege having you in chat. Even if you're lurking, even if all you're doing is just listening in the background while you're doing stuff, maybe you're prepping for a flight you're going to be taking soon, or you're spending time away from home and you're looking for somebody to listen to that's is doing something regarding flight sim. I'm privileged to have to. I'm honored to be that person. Music content. Nice. That's great. That's fantastic, friend. I tell you, I'm grateful for the ability to go travel, but I'm also I'm also happy that I was able to come home safely. When you leave somewhere to go to your destination vacation, you're amped up, you're pumped, you're happy, or you're going to be going to that place, or you're going to be seeing this person, and it makes you smile. And when you spend your time there, which if it's a good trip, it goes by really fast, and you start packing to go back, a lot of times, in the past, it used to be like, oh man, I don't want to go, like, blah, 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 blah. But my wife in particular was just eager to get back because number one, we wanted to get back to our pets, and I'm glad to be home and have them be sleeping in the same room with me. And number two, it was a good chunk of time that we were away, but it wasn't that much. So I'm happy we were away as long as we were, but there's a kind of there's like a I think a limit that some of us hit. But I mean, at the same time, some people go away for maybe like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks at a time. And hey, if that's your lifestyle, if you're able to make that happen, more power to you. I'm not like if you are in a place to be able to take a 3 week vacation, have at it. I'm good. like I'm gonna let you be. I do not leave the Star Wars missile defense system. The shield remains above my head at all times. I don't know if I've told you, but I have music theory education, so you can write and compose music. That's fantastic. I already created a music channel as well, and you're going to do music on it. You're writing a symphonic piece for Christmas. Dude, that's great. Let me know when that's done. Let me know when that's done. Iron Condor, I really haven't traveled that far out of the U.S. myself. Most of the trips that I've taken have been either on or not that far away from U.S. soil. So I understand. Ooh, that's a nice banky turn. Don't mind me, I was watching something that my wife sent me on the phone. That's pretty cool. Nice. Okay, thanks for sharing the sample. I'll take a look at that a little bit later this evening. But, Iron Condor, are you still here? Because if you are, I've got some news I wanted to share with you and anyone else that's actually interested in my scenery development adventures. I would like to put more emphasis on scenery development in the year ahead. While I was away, I spent lots of time trying to figure out what it was that I wanted to do and thinking about the progress that I made over literally the past 5 years as a flight sim streamer. I am not going to pretend, even for a moment, that I have any kind of ability to compete with people like, you know, Chewy or London Controller or any real world pilots that do flight sim streams or IRL streams for whatever reason. Over the past year, as many of you know, or some of you might not know, I discovered an old hobby that I liked doing, which was scenery development. I released 3 freeware sceneries and a payware scenery for Whiskey 904, which is a private airport in Virginia. I'm working on several projects. I'm trying to figure out how to turn that into something more than a passing fancy. Because personally, I think I'd like to continue doing that, and I think I'd like to continue releasing airports. I also got some ideas in my head as to what those future airports would look like or what they would do. I think I'm going to be developing at a minimum for both MSFS and X-Plane. If there is a way that I can somehow get my hands on some kind of either developer agreement or something for P3D, let's just call it P3D version 6, I would jump in probably with both feet. And the reason why is because of a little acronym that some of you might not have heard of in the past called B2B. The letter B, the number 2, and the letter B. When we as consumers buy products from companies, that's a B to C environment. We're the consumer, we're purchasing or consuming the products a business actually releases. B to B is business to business business. So, a construction company that needs a specific caliber of earthquake resistant building material, for example, reaches out to several contractors or several companies that create that kind of opportunity. So they have to, they communicate, they make business happen between each other. You know, the construction company pays the building company for the monies required to get the product, blah, blah, blah. I think there is a very good opportunity present in the P3D ecoverse, especially if it regains any kind of its old popularity, because then you'd have companies using P3D again for simulation and visuals, and somebody needs to make the airports. Hey, welcome back, Aeroflyer. We are approaching Naples. The difference between land class and photorealistic scenery is with P3D and FSX, for example, Orbex used to make land class scenery for North America, Europe, South America, South Africa, Asia. I think Asia was only recent. It's using realistic looking textures and tiles and actual information from the real world to render cities, areas of land, etc. Photorealistic scenery is kind of like Orbec's True Earth, or anyone that actually is still doing something with Ortho for XP, where they create their own scenery based on satellite images. Okay, Asia's still not done yet. I got it. I got it. Which might explain why a lot of companies have done airports in Asia in P3D. I didn't used to understand it. I think I understand it now. So essentially, land class takes a set number of tiles or a library of tiles and creates scenery that's reminiscent or a replica of an area. Photorealistic scenery takes satellite images and makes the ground look like it does in real life or close to it. Different companies approach that task in different ways. So, in general, photorealistic scenery is going to look more like the ground that you see when you're flying over it in a big or small airplane, as opposed to land class scenery. The benefit of land class scenery is that land class scenery is um, possible to generate without using so much, I think, disk space, or maybe even VRAM, like texture memory, because you're kind of playing with puzzle pieces or Lego pieces to create a realistic looking area, whereas photorealistic textures or photorealistic scenery is like a photocopy from a satellite source, and depending on how precise or how sharp photorealistic scenery is, that's how much memory you're going to spend in a sim or on your computer to render all that. Okay, folks, we're coming in really close to final approach for Naples. We are TAT of 2 and SAT of -5. I don't see any precipitation, so if there was rain, it's probably gone now. And I believe we are in approach mode. I think we're in approach mode right now. No, we're getting to it. Let me see what it looks like. Okay, we've got like a 30-mile final, so I'm not going to slow down right now. But we're going to have a nice picturesque approach into Napoli. Molto bene, molto bene. Right. Bye, bye. Andiamo. Let's go. Let's go. We've got beautiful, fluffy, puffy clouds that just kind of blend in and blend out. We've got an evening approach. We are just barely making the sunset. And this is basically like land class because we have stock texture sets that are being reused and used by the AI inside of X-Plane to create something that looks somewhat realistic. The roads are, I think, sourced from some kind of information system that renders them. The houses don't look realistic, but they're representations of what an area might look like. Okay, so we're probably about 30 nautical miles out, so we need to start getting ready for it. You you're a 1 hour flight away from Naples. Wow. Oh, still present. So, um, what do you think about the P3D market, Iron Condor? Do you think, especially with the new developments that are coming from Lockheed Martin, that it would make sense to start thinking about how to crack into that market? Because I know a lot of people are doing scenery for MSFS, and that's fine and dandy, But I'm going to start figuring out how to make scenery for X-Plane as well, because we're getting to the point now where X-Plane is starting to get sharper and sharper and better, and people are going to want some better representations of airports than even the really good default airports that exist. What do you think? Like, what are some of your thoughts? I might chat you up later if you have like a stream tonight or something. I'm going to be spending some time with family, but I'll be chilling later. Before I do that, let me just make sure I'm set here. We have flap mode off, flap mode 3 on, probe and window heats are on, and I'm going to turn the APU on, but I'm not going to start it. We are I think we're going to be okay for precip. I'm not worried about it. If I get a anti-ice warning, then we will actually do what we have to do. We're following the restrictions in, and I think once we clear the 10-mile marker, I'm probably going to start lowering flaps. I could technically lower flaps now, but I want to keep my speed up. Oh, yes. Yes, that's right. That's right. One of the most important things to understand is that there is no market until there is a market. P3D V6 doesn't exist yet, and P3D V5 is not on anyone's short list for, hey, I'm going to buy a bunch of scenery for my flight sim. I'm going to buy this stuff. It's a nice idea, I guess. Oh, the ERJ175 or the E175, I think you mean. The E-Jets. I haven't seen the preview. That would be interesting. Temperature is TAT at 7 and we're going through some clouds. I'm going to pay attention because I don't want to be caught off guard by any precip.
2,500.
Oh, flying over some terrain.
2,000.
Oh, it is raining. It is raining. I don't care. I'm probably overdoing it, but that's okay. Yeah, I think you're right, to be honest. Um, I think you're right. Tomato shade used to be the bomb diggity back in the days of P3D V4. I remember I used to watch Chewy94 doing a lot of streams, and
2,500.
he used to use tomato shade a lot.
2,000.
All right, give me 996. Give me flaps 1, please. And let's go approach mode now. Vertical deviation. This ought to be interesting. Look at the green tennis ball move. I'm chasing it down. So I'm going to go ahead and do flaps 2 and put the gear down. Oh, excuse me. Not flaps 2, not yet. I'm on approach mode now. I think we're good for icing at this point. So we're on the ball, and I don't see the runway just yet. What's the outside temperature? 12.
2,500.
Okay. Show me the runway, please. Ground spoilers armed. Give me flaps 2.
2000,
Okay. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, runway in sight. Still going really fast though. Let's go ahead and deploy spoilers now. Going really fast. Flaps 3. Rearm spoilers. Auto brakes medium. Gear down signs on. Cabin ready. Spoilers armed. Flaps 3. We're ready to land. We're coming in fast, but we're coming in.
1000,
100 above. Minimum.
Continue. Hey, 026 Mystic. Welcome.
500,
All right. My aircraft.
400,
Winds are right down the nose.
300, 200,
Just a little below glide slope. That's fine.
100, 50, 40, 30, 20,
Retard.
10,
5.
Nice. Okay. Reverse green. Speed brakes up. Reverser's normal. There we go. Welcome down, everybody. Wasn't the butteriest of landings, but guess what? They aren't all that. Put those away. The terminal is... I think it's off to my left? Off to my left. Yes. That way. Thank you for the bit donation, whoever that was, although I'm pretty sure I know who that was. All right. So welcome down to Naples. I'll be more than happy to poke a little bit of fun at myself at that landing. I have a feeling it was firm. Thanks for the 20 bits, Pavlin. Appreciate it. Okay, so we're on the ground, and we're going to the apron. We're going to be making a right turn and just following it down. Okay, so literally about 41 minutes flight time. Okay. Taxi lights on. And APU can get started now. We'll turn these guys off. And we will get the brake fans running because the brakes are muy caliente. Look at those numbers, baby. Cooking. Anybody got steak? They'll come down. But, oh yeah. No question on my mind. I use them up. Okay, so honestly, all things considered, this is a default airport. I'm happy with it. Get those spoilers put away. Thank you. APU bleed is on. Probes can come off. We'll get the strobes off. And wing lights can come off as well. We'll go around the corner, see if we can find a nice spot to pull into. So probably at this rate, stand 19 or 20 with some kind of a jetway-ish thing. Pavlin, take care, my friend. God bless you. Aeroflyer, until next time, my friend, we'll see you. Thanks for stopping in today. And folks, this is definitely usually an atypical stream for me. I normally stream on Sundays. I have streamed during the week in the past. I don't know what my current schedule is going to look like with regards to that, but it is what it is right now. And normally, if it's a once a week thing, it's on a Sunday. So tomorrow I will most likely be streaming a scenery dev stream. Yeah, all right. And for fun's sake, yeah, I'll just guide myself in. Right about here. A little bit more. Just a touch more, if I can. Nope. That's as good as it gets, I think. Beautiful. So, block time is about less than an hour. APU bleed is now on, and I will take care of those things. But you want to know what? The sim should be robust enough to allow me to do a replay. So we'll fire the engines back up. And we'll take a look at the landing from a few angles and call it a stream. So, yeah, a sim that's becoming more and more robust by the month. Oh, yeah, I'm sure the brakes are still hot. We're doing the replay, so it's just taking the environment into account that was at the time. So I'm not like taking off again. But yeah, I put the brake fans on because of that. Whew, sure did. I have a feeling. Yeah, yeah. The brake pads were like 410 plus degrees. And what was that? Celsius? Oh, yeah, you would absolutely sear them in minutes.
10, 40, 1.
All right, let's take a look at it from the outside. There we go. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna say something like 280 feet per minute, maybe even minus 300 or 320. It wasn't pretty, but it worked. Let me get closer. Beep. It's kind of hard to tell from that angle. Let me try again. Let me get closer. We'll get here. Boink. Yep. They aren't all going to be fluffy, smooth landings. And to be honest with you, if it rained and there was standing water, you're kind of supposed to put the plane down firm because you want to as I've been told, break surface tension. Excellent. So, yeah. Yeah. There we go, folks. That's how you do that's how I do an Italian rotation. Well, not really a rotation, like more like a an Italian expedition. I am happy to see the kind of effects and progress that have transpired in X-Plane 12, and it's nice to be able to have fun in a sim that actually allows you to do more and kind of get more value out of the airplanes that you're flying. Just the weather simulation alone. Now, do I still like MSFS? Of course I do. Of course I'm going to still fly it. Of course I'm going to enjoy it a lot. There's much that can still be done um, in terms of what's going on in life. Things happen. Software gets updated, and people start developing things for the next platform. And I think that's where X-Plane 12 is right now. TBNR Batman, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. You have joined us as we are putting the bow on the Christmas present that is being able to fly X-Plane 12 with a pay-aware aircraft. We did a couple of flights today. The first one we did in the 737 from Firenze to Rome or Roma, and the second flight we did from Rome to Naples. We flew it in the Tolos A319 with the Cobalt livery, and we had some rain to contend with, both airports, both landings. This one was more touch and go, although I planted it. You recently bought Explain 12. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy it. I have some aircraft that I've carried over from Explain 11 to 12, including the Flight Factor 757, the Tolos A319, the X-Craft's ERJ 135, which I never wound up using for complete freedom, so I apologize. Oh, you might be using Release Candidate 3. Um, Iron Condor, if you're still here, feel free to let TBNR know if there's any kind of fix that's out for it. I don't know because I'm not following it that closely, but I I'm on beta 14 right now. I'm staying put on beta 14 until they actually do something to address that problem, or until the system makes me upgrade to release candidate 3 or to the actual release version. So, I don't know. I wonder if you can get around that problem by updating your graphics card. I think, but I don't know if it works if you have a certain kind of graphics card or not. Like, I don't know if it's going to fix the problem by itself. It's probably something more to do with Vulkan than the graphics card driver that you're using. But if you haven't updated graphics card drivers in a while and there's security updates that happened, you might want to consider it. That's just my opinion. Maybe Maybe it depends on the amount of RAM that you have on your graphics card. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm just guessing. Just a flat out guess. I'm not sure. All right, folks, let me do this. Let me take a look at the interwebs and see who is currently on right now that we can say hello to. Okay, so 2 gigs of VRAM. You might want to consider upgrading to a card that gives you at least 4 gigs of VRAM. And if you go on, well, I guess it depends on what part of the world you live in, because I know I can probably go on eBay and get a card for like 50 to 75 bucks. But, if you're overseas, if you're in like Japan, Australia, India, some cards are going to take a longer time to get to you than others will. So I understand. 2 gigs, you might still be able to do it. I mean, certainly some consideration you'll have to actually change your graphic settings. Enjoy your lunch and or dinner, sir. Um, Xbox Series X or Xbox One getting a 2060. Yeah, that's what sucks. Shipping and import costs are what are going to get you. So I am sorry about that. I am very sorry about that. Let me finish shutting the plane down. We have the APU running. Let's get some ground services and wrap this stream up, shall we? Chocks, low pressure and high pressure and external power are all going to be available. We can switch over to external power, turn the APU off, and turn the pumps off. Turn off the crew supply, and we will literally shut this plane down all the way to a point. Dome lights up to bright, standby compass light off, electronics and seatbelt signs off, emergency lights off, and beacon lights off. All those things can come off. Bam, done, good. Can I get stairs out here at least, I think? No jetway attachment. I guess I'd have to make one for this airport. Maybe Digi can start filming X-Plane 12 scenery development videos. How about that? All right. So there we go, folks. From Naples in Italy, we bid you a fond farewell. Buonasera, buonanotte. We're going to go find somebody to raid. Stick around for that. And we'll take a look at the sunset real quick. Move ourselves into position. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We'll do that. And you can go to Pakistan soon. Okay. Okay. May the Lord bless your travels, my friend. Chewy Nuts is doing Microsoft Flight Sim right now. Captain K-Man is actually doing a flight today. We have 757 Spy and, of course, the one and only Motosua. So I tell you what we're going to do. I think I'm going to leave you folks in the capable company of either Motosua, Captain Custard, or Captain K-Man. There is a choice. Let me see. I'm just going to go ahead and peek real quick and see who's available. And I got an ad. So let me see what else I can see. I'm probably going to point you guys over to Motosua because I think he is either in or maybe just got started doing some streaming. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, there we go. Actually, Captain Custard just literally got started pushing back. So let's go say hi to him. All right. All right, folks, stick around for the raid. And we'll set it up right now. Is that correct? Yes, it is. My friends, have a great, great rest of your afternoon. God bless you. Like I always like to say, if you want true peace, you really do need to know the Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ. Take care, folks. Have a great, great rest of your evening and or morning. And until next time, bye-bye.